Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm live again, N'44, but this is video number 4, and we're just gonna fix a couple of boo-boos that I made last night during combat. And I've got laundry in the laundromat. I'm doing laundry right now, so I really don't want to get into the upcoming British turn in depth. I just want to fix a couple of boo-boos that I made on two different combats last night during the German turn. And you can see the description of the boo-boos in the comments below, but I'm going to go ahead and fix them and tell you about them anyway. So let's go ahead and do that and wrap that up real quick. Okay, so the first attack I had last night was, let me go ahead and pull this dude out of the cadre box. And it's a possible learning opportunity right here. So, wait a minute. Where, the 2-3, did he get killed off? I don't know, but 1-3 was here. Let me back that up just 110. I'm also looking at my phone right now. And one moment. And that's, no, that's not him. Are you sure? No, it's this guy. It's this guy, but he was flipped. No, he was okay. Hold on. No, he was like that. And this guy he was gain step. So it was 9-4, which was 2-1. And then we had artillery out of the con-based artillery, 1, 2, 3. So it was 9-4, which is 2-1, and it was a 3-1 attack. And the original outcome was what was the original? The original was he had to retreat. Okay, he had to retreat, and here's where the screw up came. So I decided there was issues with retreat as to whether he could retreat into his 5-3 buddy right there. So what I did, I just said, you know what? Let's do a determined defense. So we did it. We're going to do a determined defense. And to which we came upon a situation where it was like, well, he's going to use a naval bombardment DRM in the determined defense, and that's where the error lies. Turns out, and I was like, well, you can't do naval bombardment because the attacking German stack, which is right here, the 6-5 and the 3-1, they were outside the bombardment, which is the blue dotted, not dotted, but you see the blue line right there. Turns out, after further, we're going to throw the challenge flag. After further review, the naval bombardment is based on the defender's hex right here. And they are in the bombardment zone. So, and we're going to add +1 to the result that had happened. And the British unit, British para, did roll a 6, and I had it as 6 exchange. He takes a hit. All right, actually, he can't take he actually dies because he doesn't have a step to give. But as it turns out, if you take a 6, which is what he rolled, and then you add the +1 for naval bombardment, it's a whole different story here. So it indeed is a 7 on the other chart because he's in woods, and it's an AL, and that's a whole different thing. So let's see what AL. Any one attacking unit, attacker's choice, and not necessarily from the map, loses 1 step. So this guy, the retreat is canceled. He doesn't die, and the Germans are going to take a hit off the 316. And there you go. So originally this 2-3 was dead because it was an exchange, and I took a hit off the 6-5 because it was the defender's choice. Yeah, and now this is take a hit, attacker's choice, and the 2-3 lives to fight another day because the retreat is canceled. And the only thing is the 3-1-6 takes a hit, and that is it. So that is correct. So the moral of this story is the naval bombardment is based off the defender's hex. I kind of think it'd be the attacker's hex, but it's not the rule. And I notated in the comments where you could find that rule. All right, we move on. And then moving over all the way over to Utah, the Continent Peninsula. Can I get to it? Can I get to it? We'll review this, and that's all we're going to do tonight. So I think on this one, how did I have that set up? Yeah. So what we had here was this guy was here, and this guy was here, and this dude was here. We'll take his disruption because he originally, what did he roll? He rolled a, let me just delete that right there. So that's what it was. It was these 3 units against him, and we came up with a 3-1. And then what I did wrong was I figured, well, on the TQ situation, the defender, if the defender has the higher TQ, then that's a shift. Well, it is a shift if the attackers are all -1 or -2. These attackers are 0. Okay, so the defender does not get the shift, and so the 2-1 attack indeed is a 3-1 attack, and they rolled a 2. Let me just make that change. Can I find my cursor? Where the hell is my cursor? Here it is. So the when it was 2-1, I had it as A1 DR. The attackers lose a step, and the defender retreats. But in fact, it's a big fat exchange. So let's just go ahead. So these guys are going to lose a step down the cadre. Ooh, but they do not have to retreat. Each side, it loses a step. The unit it takes is determined by the opposing player. No retreat. Okay, so who is the defender going? The attack. Actually, the opposing player is going to knock out this armor right here. That's who they're going to kill. The Americans are going to kill that armored step, and that's the end of that. So again, I have where you can find that rule in the comments. I was at work this morning, and I was watching a video, and I double checked some things, and indeed 2 of my 3 attacks were incorrect. So that's how they stay. There's no retreat, no nothing. They both took a step loss, and remember, just because the defender has a higher TQ, that's only a shift if the attackers are -1 or -2. All right, I've made that mistake several times in this game. But anyways, that is going to be it for tonight. And I'm going to hit the file, save. Oh, by the way, on that previous attack where right here, over here, where they called in the defensive naval, that would be obviously the Ramellis, which wasn't used. So I'm just gonna flip them. So they were used, and now I'm gonna save the file. So, well, actually, I'll save it in a minute. Let me sign off. So that's it, guys. That's all I got, and I'm actually doing my laundry right. If I wasn't gonna be folding laundry in 10 minutes, I would go ahead and do the the British turn for turn two, I believe, this June 8th. Is that correct? Let's get back in here. June 8th, the Allied turn, I should say. So, no, it's June 7th still. So the Allied turn for June 7th is what I got to come back and do. But I got to fold laundry in like 20 minutes, 10 minutes from now. I'm going to save game. And let's go to live 44. And this would be 668. Let me just verify that that did take. And oh, come on, dude, wrong thing. And game files 68 at 636 is correct. Okay, fair enough. All right, so I will see you guys next time. I don't know if it's going to be tomorrow night. I don't know if it's going to be tomorrow night, but I will see you guys. Wait a minute. Let's take a question here. Or let me, before I sign out, KO is saying still on the fence with this series. Really, I'd be interested in knowing what do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? Does that mean that you've tried playing a couple of games, you don't know whether you like it? Because I have some thoughts on that. Is it based off of what game do you have experience? What game do you have experience with, KO, that you're still on the fence? Because I might have some thoughts based on what games you're talking about. So many out there. You mean you've played so many of Simonich is a series here, Zachman? Is that what you're saying? Because I'm a big fan, dude. I like N'44, but if you told me Ukraine was the best game of the series, I'd have to agree, because I kind of agreed. I say that Ukraine 44 is the best, and the reason I say that is because it both sides can kick the shit out of each other on any given turn. And that is fantastic. The Soviets can launch that big assault. The Germans can mass some panzer divisions together, and they can come back and hurt them, kick their ass. And yeah. So he says yes from early Battle of the Bulge from AH. Dude, that was one of my earliest games way back. I think I want to say the last, when I first got introduced to that game, I want to say 1976, Alabama, living in Alabama, 1976, a teenager, and who could forget those pink and blue counters, right? The pink and blue counters, and god awful, but I used to stay up all night playing that when I was a teen. 1976, Alabama. And then I used to play, way back then, I used to play SPI, NATO, Next War in Europe. I have it buried under a bunch of shit. No, it's actually, is this it right here? I don't want to pull it. Shit, let me pull it out. Hold on a second. Let me pull this out. No, that's Panzer Group Guderian. Where is NATO the next? No, that's the SPI foil pack. I don't have, that's in my storage shit. Yeah, the SPI NATO next war in Europe. That was like, dude, I used to play the shit out of that when I was a teen. That and the Avalon Hill Battle of the Bulge. Those were my two games. That's when there wasn't really that much out there. Anyways, I would suggest, I don't know if you've played these if you're on the fence with this series right here, I would not make any harsh decisions in a negative way about this series unless you've tried Ukraine 43. Okay, you owe it to yourself to try that. And if you don't like the Zokbon system, if you don't like the Zokbon system after trying Ukraine 43, then then maybe it's not for you. Now you come back with something that you're talking. Now you're mentioning my second favorite shit. Great campaigns of the Civil War. Yeah, yeah. I mean, Zokbon series and Great Campaigns of the Civil War. Those are my two favorites. And I've got a ton of shit to my right over here. Let me move the camera. Hold on a sec. Let me move the camera. And wait a minute. 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 What am I doing here? Let me. Did I log off? No. Then right here. Okay. Let me. All right. Let me log. I don't know how much of a leeway that I have with this camera, but that's like all my crap that I have right there. There's your Zokbon system right here, and over there is all my American Civil War shit, and you can't really see it because the length of my cord is not that long. Yeah, all the Civil War shit's down here. You can't get it. But yeah, GCACW, man, I am a big fan of that. Yeah. So, KO, are you stateside, or are you in Europe or Canada by any chance? Um, let me pull this out. It comes the Zokbon. Comes the Zokbon. You've got to try this. You've got to try this game right here. You've got to try this. If Eastern Front is your jam, you've got to try this system, Ukraine 43. It's not my personal favorite game, but at the same time, I feel like it's the best game in the series. It's so balanced. Oh, you're in Maryland? I'm in Massachusetts, East Coast. Yeah, yeah. You can hit me up if you want to play a game of Great Campaigns, or even this. I'm always looking to play PBM. Oh, by the way, if you're in Maryland and you love Great Campaigns, you've got to go to MMP's event that they have in January. If you haven't been, the Winter Offensive, where it's mostly ASL. I can't be bothered with that, but it's Great Campaigns of American Civil War, MMP Winter Offensive in Maryland in January. I don't know. Yeah, winter offensive. I don't know if I didn't go this past year because we bought a house or a condo, whatever, and 1 month before, so that we were actually moving in the winter. Yeah, it's in Bowie, Maryland. Bowie, Maryland. That is a good time. Yeah, that's a good time. If you haven't been there already, you've got to do that. An hour away, yeah. So you know what? So anyways, I'm gonna bounce out of here right now. I just wanted to come make those two corrections, and like I gotta go grab the laundry, not yet. What do you mean? What's up? What's going on? Um, Yeah, so I just wanted to come on, make the two corrections, and they're hot, where you can find the rules in question. They're in the comments below. There should be three comments, and two of them concern two rules that affected those two outcomes. So that's all I got. That's all I've got, man. It's 6:45. I got to go do the close thing. Uh, and I don't know if I can do the allied turn tomorrow. I'm probably going to be at the gym at this time. Definitely Wednesday. Definitely Wednesday to get the allied turn. And I mean, they are looking pretty sweet because let's move over here to the Commonwealth section. I mean, look at these guys. I talked about this last night. They couldn't get this guy to retreat on an attack, so they've got this, and this to unleash on this part of the German line right here, which is they've got one shot to do it because, like we talked about, 12th SS is moving to cover that real estate, but they're not there yet. And it's the Brits' turn, and they're loaded. They got everything, this, that, all this, but they have exhausted their naval power here and here. They do have one air asset, and that's it. So they've really got to bust open the Germans pretty bad because all the Germans really have is these two guys right here, which is those are too good. But the problem is these two guys are on clear terrain. They're on clear terrain, and that's problematic. This anti-tank is on the town. This is clear terrain, which is bad for the defender. And this guy's unmixed. He's unmixed. He's unmixed. He's in Bayou. So, and historically, Bayou fell on this turn that is coming up for the Brits. So and then as we look at, and then over here you have these two paras that uh, I think they're technically in supply because this dude does not he does not exert a Zoc. Um, and then moving over here, the American situation, they're running. A lot of times I've seen the Germans pin the Americans down on the beach for the first couple, three turns, but not these times. These guys are going to break out, and this is all they have for them right now. I'm going to take a look at what the Germans have in the what do they have? Combat setup cards. What do they? German reinforcements on turn 3. They have Panzer Lehr is going to start to come on. How many Panzer Lehr units? Actually, one, two. No. For turn 3, yeah, they don't all show up in one turn. They have 2 units from Panzer Lehr, like 3 Flak 88s that are coming on, and a headquarters. Um, and they come from yellow. That's the important thing. Is that thing straight at the bottom? Yeah, down here. So that these guys are going to head straight up through Villers Bocage. Yeah, they're probably going to head to the American sector. I would think Panzer Lehr, and then over here on the peninsula. These guys just got knocked down to a cadre. That stinks. And then the Americans are going to. I'm going to write also here. Can't go full. Yeah, I'm going to put add text label. Can't go full like the other one says. Can't go full. Um, yeah, and hit file save. Okay. Yeah, so once the Americans move all this stuff, they get the paras will yield to these guys coming on shore, and they're going to turn northwest and just move on to these dudes. And they're going to, I think the Americans, the 4th Infantry Division, is going to head northwest. And the Germans look pretty good in this sector, however. And that's going to do it. So, anyways, you guys, you could say Ukraine 43 is on P500 a good price. Yeah, I have it ordered. That the one I showed you is is second edition. It looks good. Ukraine 43 is now on third edition. I ordered a copy for I don't know if there's going to be any changes to it, but it's one of my favorite games. I still like I'm a Bulge guy, so I'll always like Arden 44, but I admit Ukraine's the better game. Anyways, dude, I'm gonna bounce. I have to go get my I gotta get the laundry done, man. It's one of them things. All right, I'm gonna end this. I'll see you guys. I look to be. I can't do. I'll be in the gym tomorrow. Wednesday, I have. I think I got time to do the British turn. Why did I say British? The Allied turn is going to be. It's going to be a long file, a long stream. I don't. And I'm on StreamYard's free plan. I don't know if they cut me off of 4 hours, 4 or 5 hours a month, whatever. I'll do as long as I can. All right, I'll see anybody who wants to be here on Wednesday. All right, gotta go. Ciao. Bye bye.